What's up, guys? Today we're going to do another Disney villain makeup transformation inspired by Shan from the Disney movie Mulan. He is probably one of the most terrifying Disney villains of all to me personally. There's something about him, maybe it's his minions of creepy men that work for him that could sniff and detect different scents on a doll to trace a human. Or his pet, like, fierce bird that grabs random objects for him after he's just chopped down a tree. Or maybe it's the fact that he could fly through an actual roof, crush it with his body, and jump on top of it. But today is going to be a two-parter makeup transformation of not only Shan, the creepy Hun from Mulan, but we're going to have him transform into a gory, creepy makeup of him getting his face sliced through with a sword. Warning, this video has some cuts, scrapes, and blood in it towards the end of it. So, let's see if we can do this. First, putting my hair in a wig cap because I'm definitely going to put on a wig later. And if you've been watching my videos for a while, you may know that in a lot of makeups, I have to remove my eyebrows. Not shave them, but use glue sticks with powder to flatten them down. You could also do this with bald caps, but I like to do 3 to 4 layers of glue and powder, making sure they dry completely in between each layer so that's completely flat and it's a surface that I could paint on top of. Because Shan Yu's eyebrows are the most extreme ones in any character I've ever done. So we're going to just paint on some crazy eyebrows later. But once your eyebrows are completely dry, we are going to get a chin prosthetic. Fit it on your chin. And then I'm going to get some prosaide adhesive to apply to the foam appliance chin and onto my face so it's a double adhesive and it really sticks on there. You really want to make sure your edges are very nice. If they are bunching under the appliance on accident, you could get some 99% alcohol to help move it and reapply it. Fix it, if you will. Then you want to get a small red stipple sponge with some prosaide and stipple the edges of the appliance. To conserve your red sponges wisely, you could cut down each end that you put some product on and have a new clean edge so you don't keep throwing away red sponges. And then I'm going to move on to liquid latex in the same fashion of a stippling motion along the edges. This is going to help make the prosthetic and your actual skin look like they go together as one. This is going to make it so you don't want to see, a straight line across your chin or the fake chin paste onto your actual face. And you want to dry each layer with a hairdryer. And once your edges are stippled on, we're going to get some prosaide again with that red stipple sponge and stipple on a full layer of prosaide over that appliance so that the paint we're going to paint on it later will adhere very well. This chin is a little bit longer than Shan used from Mulan, but we're going to contour it later. And once that prosaide layer on the appliance has completely dried, we are going to get some Mel Pax paint in the color Raven and Light Peach. These two colors combined equal parts will make the perfect skin tone of Shan because he has this very ashy, almost grayish tone skin tone in the movie. So I'm just mixing equal parts of those and then getting a disposable makeup sponge and applying that to the appliance, making sure that it covers all areas. You just want to color the appliance and a little bit over the edge, but not your entire face. Now we're just going to get our foundation palette and get similar colors of foundation mixed together. I'm getting a foundation color that basically matches my skin tone with a little bit of darker color that kind of looks like that Raven color we used on the prosthetic paint. Mixing those two together with the foundation sponge, I'm just going to spread that across my face. You just want to make sure you color match your foundation to the appliance paint. I'm just going to apply that all over my face, make sure it's very full coverage and resembles the color of the appliance paint. Another color that I mixed in with it was my Poise Cosmetics Light Contour color. I'll make sure to list all the colors that I used on my face down below and all the products. Make sure you get it on your ears and neck and maybe even part on your chest, whatever areas are going to show that your shirt or costume does not cover. Now getting a contour cream, I'm going to make Shan Yu's cheekbones rise high to the heavens. He has one of the most dramatic cheekbones out of all the Disney villains, even more dramatic than Maleficent herself. Yes, his are a lot bigger and more chiseled. So we're just trying to mimic that with some contour creams. You could put a very dark line and then blend it out with that foundation brush. And like I said before, we are going to contour the bottom of our chin because Shan Yu's chin is a little bit shorter than this, but it's just as big and almost as long. Contouring more on the side of our face, I am using two different contour colors. One's a more medium contour and one's a very dark contour. Switching in between those to give the right color and shade of contour. You could go a little darker on this contour as well because your skin tone is very ashy gray and a totally different skin tone. You can even contour a little bit on your head as well. How many times am I going to say contour in this video? We will see. Now we're going to powder down our entire face, making sure you're setting all that makeup and foundation that we put on our face. Now, getting some blue cream paint. You want a blue, almost black cream paint to do the shadow on Shan Yu's eyes. He has completely pitch black eyes, but I'm making it so that you could see what Shan Yu would look like in real life. Maybe he would have a semi Johnny Depp from Pirates of the Caribbean Captain Jack Sparrow eye that's a little bit smoky, greasy, and dirty of a liner around the eyes. And I'm extending it out like a winged liner effect. And I'm going to contour the bridge of my nose as well because Shan Yu has a skinnier nose towards his eyebrows and it goes out flatter and wider. Also putting some shadow colors on the edges of my mouth to make it look like he has a frown or is very sad because Shan Yu is angry. Now it's time to get some black cream paint with a brush that's very flat so that you have a flat edge to do hair-like motions of brow hairs. Like I said before, Shan Yu's eyebrows are the most intense eyebrows I will ever do, probably. They are very angled and very thick at one end and very skinny at the other. Very, very unique. They kind of remind me of the Grinch, but they are completely pitch black and they have to be very precise. Getting that blue cream paint on my eyes again and smudging it some more because like I said, Shan Yu's eyes are completely black, but I want them to look more realistic like a real human than in the cartoon. They're like a midnight blue almost and almost completely black. You could go a little darker on this contour as well because your skin tone is very ashy gray and a totally different skin tone. Just doing more hair-like motions on those eyebrows to give them detail. And now it is time to paint on Shan Yu's mustache. He has a very thin mustache. Most Asian men have facial hair that's very thick hairs, but they're very sparse, that there's not many of them. And his is very trimmed and manicured to be very thin and long and go all the way down to his chin. So you definitely want to look at reference pictures for this and especially those eyebrows that we did before to make sure you have the right shapes and angles and specific location on his face where these go. His mustache kind of reminds me of a catfish, but maybe it's because I've been obsessed with that TV show lately. I was actually going to make this facial hair out of real pieces of facial hair, but Asian men's facial hair, like I said, it's very thick and sparse, and I don't think I could have made one that was tiny enough hairs that were really thick to look realistic, so I decided to paint them on. Because girl, you know me, anytime I get the chance to make facial hair, I probably will do it if I have the time, even though it takes forever. I love doing fake men's facial hair and making it, creating it, all of the above. It's my favorite attribute that men have. Honestly, truly. Smudging the bottom lash line to give it shadow as well. Putting more black cream on the top eyelid to give it a more smoky effect. And once you think your makeup is on point to Shan Yu's face, it is time to get a pitch black wig. This is the wig that I used for my Kylie Jenner makeup transformation. They just happen to have the same texture of sleek, silky smooth, straight black hair. Shan Yu has a receding hairline in the movie, but I am going to put one of his Hun's hood on. With this hair, Shan Yu looks like he's from a very cool rock band. I also have this really cool faux fur scarf because Shan Yu is known to have these furs laying on him. But I just so happen to have a faux fur black jacket that resembles the hood that Shan Yu the Hun from Mulan wears. So I'm going to put that on top of my head in the wig. And you could be completely done with your look here, or you can move on to putting in some effects contact lenses of some bright yellow eyes. Shan Yu is known to have these piercing yellow eyes, and I had them on hand, so you know I had to put these yellow eyes into my eyeballs. And with that, you're completely done with your Shan Yu makeup transformation. This is so creepy and it scares me so bad, even though I know it's myself, because again, Shan Yu is one of the most scariest villains out of any of the Disney movies in my opinion. Imagine waking up next to this guy. But this was so much fun to do. You can stick around to see the second part of this makeup of him turning into a bloody, gory mess. And again, warning, this is going to show some cuts, scrapes, and blood. Very gory. But we're just going to take that hood off and get some fake gelled blood to do some cut slash marks across his face and on certain parts near his nose. Then I'm going to get some 3D gel effects. This is 3rd degree. You could also use gelatin for this, but you have to make sure that you don't burn your actual skin with gelatin. This you do not have to heat up. And it's pretty pricey compared to gelatin, but it works amazingly. You don't even have to put adhesives on. I'm just going to put that straight on my face and tried to put this cut up plastic sword on my face. I got this at a party supply during a Halloween blowout sale, and I cut the sword into 3 pieces, and the 3rd piece that I'm going to put into my mouth, I made sure that I filed down the edges so there's no sharp edges going into my mouth. I know this stretches out your mouth, but it does not hurt. You just have to make sure you don't make it too big, and you definitely have to file down sharp edges so it won't pierce your actual skin and it'll be more safe. And cleanse it, please. Make sure it's clean. Instead of the handle going in that area of the mouth, I had the end of the sword going there with the 3rd degree gel. Getting a hairdryer will help dry the 3rd degree even faster because it could take some time to set. You can even put fake blood on the inside piece of that sword in your mouth, but don't put it like actually in your mouth, just on the sword piece. Getting some fake blood on that 3rd degree area, making sure it looks like a real bloody hole in your face. Because now we're going to have Shan Yu's mouth being pierced by a sword. You also want to get the foundation brush with excess foundation on it to make sure the 3rd degree is the same color as Shan Yu's skin. Before getting that fake blood with the Q-tip again to making sure it looks like an actual wound. Put some fake blood on your mouth as well and get your hands a little drippy with water to make sure it drips like real blood. Then you want to do the wound on the other side of your face and hold the edge of the sword there, the handle of it, to make it look like it's really going through your mouth. And some fake blood on the edge tip of that sword as well, because it's going to get bloody when it pierces his actual cheeks and skin through his mouth. And with that, you're completely done with your Shan Yu makeup transformation of his face getting pierced by a sword. This character from Mulan is so creepy, especially with a sword through his mouth. You will have to keep your hand holding that sword handle because you can't put enough adhesives or gels to make it stay there because it's so heavy. But I think it gives the effect that much more awesomeness because it's like you're struggling to get it out of your mouth. And sadly, it is time for me to remove this fake sword out of my mouth and take off all this makeup. But I just thought this idea came out so cool. I hope you guys enjoy this makeup transformation. I know in the movie he was killed by fireworks and explode probably into a billion pieces. But we've already done Mulan with fire, torture, gore makeup. So today we're going to have an after battle of his face getting sliced. Thank you guys so much for watching and supporting this channel. All products I use in this video will be listed down below in the description box as always. If you do any of the makeups from this channel, again, please post it on Instagram so I could like it and share it and love it. I would love to see your guys' creations. This was so much fun to do. I love doing gory makeup. I just had the need to do one. Please like this video if you'd like me to continue on with my Disney villain series and like to see more in the future. I love you all, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Time to wash this hand. Bye!